I'll just check it whether you all can hear me properly now.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So the five kingdom classification of living organism. So it is broadly again divided. The organisms are divided into prokaryotes, eukaryotes, and depending on this, firstly we'll see Monera, which are the prokaryotes. So what are the prokaryotes, children? What are the characteristics of prokaryotes? Why the prokaryotes are classified under Monera, the kingdom Monera? Why they are classified under Monera? Because they are prokaryotic. What are prokaryotes?
Because they do not have a defined nucleus, ma'am.
Okay, they do not have definite nucleus. They are unicellular and
Ma'am,
They
and
may
they
or
are membrane
may
bound
not be having
organelle.
cell wall.
yes, and they may or may not have cell wall. And their mode of nutrition is
Cell wall.
autotrophic or
And heterotrophic, ma'am.
and the examples are
Bacteria, blue algae.
blue-green algae, cyanobacteria, and mycoplasma. So now another subgroup is the protista. So now they come under protista come under
Eukaryotic cell, ma'am.
yes eukaryotes, and they are unicellular. Again, they are unicellular. They are divided. Eukaryotes are divided into unicellular and multicellular. So under unicellular, protista comes under unicellular. And under multicellular, what comes? Animalia. Animalia comes under multicellular. So we'll see animalia in the last. Now, firstly, we'll see the protista, fungi, and plantae. Okay. Now, coming to protista, what comes under this kingdom protista? The eukaryotic. They are eukaryotic usually. Unicellular. They are mostly aquatic. Some have flagella. You can see it.
Yes,
They can
ma'am.
move. With the help of this flagella, they can move.
Move.
And the mode of nutrition is autotrophic or heterotrophic. For example, algae, diatoms, protozoans, etc. As we have already discussed about it yesterday, and even we have discussed about fungi also, isn't it, children? They are, please mute yourself, children. They are eukaryotic. Fungi are eukaryotic. What are eukaryotes? What is the meaning of eukaryotic, children?
Ma'am,
Yes.
eukaryotes have nucleus, ma'am, perfect nucleus and perfect cell wall,
Okay. And
and they are present in most of the animal cells, ma'am,
okay.
and they are
So they are either they might be unicellular.
Unicellular or
or
multicellular, ma'am.
multicellular.
They have whether they have chlorophyll. They have
Ma'am,
chlorophyll or not?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am, no.
Okay. They
ma'am,
do not have chlorophyll. Okay. And they cannot
ma'am,
prepare their own food. Fungi
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
usually.
eukaryotic cells will be not having flagella, ma'am.
Where can we find this fungi, children? Where do these fungi grow?
Ma'am, yeast, mushrooms.
No, where do they grow?
Ma'am,
Where
on the
Ma'am, near
plants leaves.
where can
no,
we
ma'am. When the soil gets no water and where it is no proper soil, ma'am, there only fungi will grow.
they are usually saprophytes. They depend on others for food. They are heterotrophic. What are heterotrophs? Heterotrophs are those which depend
Which
on
depend
others.
upon food
On
for
another organism.
others.
So these fungi usually, the fungi, they depend on dead and decaying organic matter. They depend on other food which is decaying, which is spoiling. They usually grow on spoiled. Please put yourself. So they usually grow on dead and decaying matter. You have seen the fungi on the bread when it is spoiling, when you
Yes,
keep it.
ma'am, wet
Yes.
bread.
So they obtain the nourishment, they obtain the food from the bread. And even other, not only that, if you have seen this mushrooms and other lichens. Lichens, if you see in the picture, they depend on the they just grow on the plants.
Algae.
Yeah, so these they depend on. And here, if you see the mushrooms, mushrooms also grow on the dead and decaying matter. Okay, so altogether the fungi, they depend on dead and decaying organic matter as food. They are even called as saprophytes. And the example for them is yeast, aspergillus, penicillium, agaricus, lichens, etc. Okay, now is it clear, children, about fungi?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now
Yes, ma'am.
coming to kingdom Plantae. This is the kingdom. Plantae is a kingdom. And in this kingdom, plants come under Plantae. They are multicellular. Now we are going to learn about the multicellular organisms. So here they are usually eukaryotes having cell walls. Plants have cell walls. We all know that. They use chlorophyll for photosynthesis. All plants are included in this group. They are divided into 5 groups. Again, this kingdom, Plantae, the kingdom Plantae is divided into 5 groups. They are Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms, and Angiosperms. So yesterday we have seen about the groups. Firstly, we have seen about the Thallophyta, the classification of plants. The 5 groups are Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms, and Angiosperms. Okay. So we have seen firstly the Thallophytes. What are the examples of Thallophytes, children? So you can see on the screen, Thallophyta. In this group, plants do not have well differentiated body parts. The plants are called algae. You can see on the screen the examples of Thallophytes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am.
like Spirogyra, Ulothrix, Cladophora, Cara. What is the difference here? You can see they are not differentiated into, they do not have well developed body parts.
Body parts.
Yes, they do not, we cannot find stem and leaves in this. Okay, they just have the chlorophyll. We can see they are green in color. And now coming to Bryophyta, the second group. In this group, the plant body is differentiated into stem and leaf. Then what is the difference between Bryophytes and Pteridophyta then?
Ma'am,
Bryophyta,
in first one, they don't have any well-defined structures, ma'am. In
Yeah.
this, they have stem and leaves structures.
okay. And how they are different from the third group, Pteridophyta?
Ma'am, they have stem, leaves, roots, ma'am.
Yes, they have. But they here,
They
have
will able.
these structures for conduction.
Yes,
But they
ma'am.
do not have vascular tissue for conducting water.
Yes,
But in
ma'am.
third group, the Pteridophyta, they have vascular tissue for conducting water.
Water and other substances.
Yes, they even have root, stem, differentiated structures, as well as they have vascular tissue for conducting water. So that's why this third group is differentiated from Bryophyta. So here, is it clear now? The examples of Pteridophyta are ferns, Marsilia. Okay, children. Now
Okay,
coming
ma'am.
to gymnosperms. What are gymnosperms? These are plants with naked seeds. Gymnosperms are plants with naked seeds. Gymno, the name itself says, gymno means naked. Sperma means seeds. Gymnosperms, yes. They are usually perennial, evergreen, and woody.
And woody.
Yes, like for example, pines and cycads. You can see in the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
ma'am.
angiosperms. If you can see the angiosperms, these are the plants with which bears the covered seeds.
Covered seeds.
Yes, they might be monocots or dicots.
Dicots.
Now, if you see the differences, children, angiosperms and gymnosperms, what is the difference here? Just don't worry, I'll just send you this notes. No need to take the screenshots. I'll send you the complete notes, children. So if you
Okay,
see the
ma'am.
differences here, angiosperms and gymnosperms. In angiosperms, a seed is produced by flowering plant and is enclosed in within an ovary. It is covered, while in gymnosperms, they are not enclosed, they are naked. Okay, they are not enclosed, they are unenclosed. They are naked in gymnosperms. A seed is produced by non-flowering plant. Here in angiosperm, flowering plants produce the seeds and they are enclosed inside an ovary. Is it clear? In gymnosperms, what happens? The seeds are naked, they are not enclosed, they are not covered, and they are produced by non-flowering plants. What is meant by non-flowering plant? These plants, they do not have flowers. We cannot see flowers in these plants. They do not have flowers. That's why they are said as non-flowering plants. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
First point is clear, boys. Boys, is it clear? Are you listening or not? Again, if you have any doubt, I won't clear it. Just
Okay, ma'am.
concentrate. Boys are not responding.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Understanding, ma'am.
Is it clear? Is the topic clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, just say then what is the difference between what I told, the first point. What is the difference between angiosperms and gymnosperms, especially regarding the seed? How is the seed in gymnosperm and how is the seed in angiosperm?
Ma'am,
Ma'am, I'll say, ma'am.
angiosperms,
Yes.
the seed will be appeared normal. It will be not appeared to our naked eyes, ma'am.
No.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes.
Ma'am, can I say?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes. Tell me.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes. Just give the chance to boys because they never speak.
Okay, ma'am.
Just give the
Okay,
chance to
ma'am.
them. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
once again repeat the question, ma'am.
How are the seeds in angiosperms and gymnosperms? What is the difference? How is the seed present
Ma'am,
in
can I
gymnosperm?
say?
Ma'am,
Yes, tell
ma'am,
me.
angiosperms, they don't have flowers.
In angiosperm.
Yeah. So,
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, can I say?
Yes, say.
Ma'am, in angiosperms, seeds will be enclosed by the ovary, ma'am.
Yes, good.
And in xylosperms, it will be not enclosed, ma'am. It
They
will
are
be
naked.
the seed is produced by non-flowering plants.
Yes, good. The seed is produced by non-flowering plant because they won't have any flowers. They have seeds, but they are not covered. Okay, good, Srijan. And now coming to next point, children. In angiosperms, the life cycle of these plants are seasonal. They are seasonal. The life cycle of these plants are seasonals. But in gymnosperms, these plants we can see evergreen. These plants are evergreen. But in angiosperms, the flowering plants we can see only during the season. Only during the season. In angiosperms, if you see the third point, they have triploid tissue. The tissue is triploid, 3-layered. And in gymnosperms, the tissue is haploid. And if you see the fourth point, the leaves are flat in shape. And if you see in gymnosperms, the leaves are scale-like, needle-like sharp. Isn't it? If you can see in this picture, in gymnosperms, the leaves are very sharp, isn't it? Pointed. The leaves are pointed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And if you see here, the leaves, they are flat in Marsilia, and they are flat, but here they are very sharp. And
Yes, ma'am.
in angiosperms, they are like hardwood type, but in gymnosperms, they have soft wood. They have soft wood. In angiosperms, the reproduction rely on animals. In angiosperms, the reproduction rely on animals. Like how, for example, the animals, they carry the birds, for example, like crow or any bird. They sit on that plant and they just carry these, I mean, the seeds, they are stick to their uh, jaws, or the birds feathers or beaks they'll carry to another plant. When they go and sit in on another plant of the same type, then the reproduction takes place. I mean, they leave those seeds on another plant and the reproduction is carried out. But here in gymnosperms, the reproduction rely on wind. The wind carries the seeds from one place to another, and if the seeds they fall on another plant, the reproduction takes place through wind in gymnosperms. But in angiosperms, the reproduction rely on animals. Just see the differences and try to figure it out. Okay?
Ma'am,
Yes?
ma'am, this type of reproduction is there in last year, ma'am. We got this topic.
Okay. So it will not be a tough topic for you if you had in your last class. I mean, in your last year.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now last point, if you see in angiosperms, the reproductive system present in flowers, unisexual or bisexual reproductive system will be there. I'll just give you a detail about this also regarding the reproductive system. And in if you see in gymnosperms, the reproductive system present in cones and are unisexual. They are unisexual, means the reproductive system it carries out, it have only one type of organ present inside it. It cannot carry out the reproduction on itself. Self pollination won't take place. If the seeds they go and fall, they just the wind, they are carried out through wind, and when they fall on another plant, then the reproduction carries out. They are unisexual. But here in the angiosperms, if you see, they are bisexual or unisexual. Okay, children, is it clear regarding angiosperms and gymnosperms?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and now coming to the classification here, again, in
Ma'am,
Thallophyta, yes, yes, children. Any doubt?
ma'am, once again, can you keep the previous slide, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, once again, can you keep the previous slide, ma'am?
Which one?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, 1 minute. No,
I'll,
ma'am, this angiosperms and gymnosperms.
I'll send you. No
Okay.
need of taking screenshot. I'll
Okay,
send it.
ma'am.
I'll send it. Don't worry. So if you see here, so is it clear now about Thallophyta, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
angiosperms and gymnosperms? And now we'll uh, see the classification of animals, that is the kingdom Animalia. Now coming to kingdom Animalia. So is it clear about Plantae, kingdom Plantae?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now coming to kingdom Animalia, the classification of animals, they are divided into 10 groups. They are Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Protochondrata, and Vertebrata. So now we'll see what comes under these groups. So first group is Porifera. What type of organisms or what type of animals they come under this group? We'll see now. Porifera. In Porifera, sponges come under the group Porifera. What are sponges, children? They are aquatic. Usually they are found in deep oceans. Okay, we can find it deep inside the water. They are usually aquatic. They are non-motile animals. They are attached to some solid support. They are attached to rocks. Okay, they are attached to solid supports. They have pores inside it. You can see in the picture, they have pores all over the body, forming a canal system, which helps to circulate the water, bring food and oxygen inside the holes. Okay, they have pores inside their body. If you can see in this picture, sponge, this is spongilla. If you see this picture, children, they have hard outer skeleton. They are very hard. They do not have any tissues. They do not have any tissues. Just try to understand this. They do not have any tissue. They have very hard outer skeleton. Sponges come under which group? Sponges come under which group? Porifera.
Porifera.
Yes,
Porifera, ma'am.
yes, good. And now, next one. What is the next group?
Colenterata.
Yes. So this group, they are aquatic. These are also aquatic animals. They have cavity in the body called as
Cota,
colon.
ma'am.
The body has two layers of cells, an outer layer and an inner layer. Some live in colonies called as corals, and others are single. For example, corals, hydra, jellyfish, and sea anemone. If you can see the picture here, you can see the picture clearly. Corals, they are living in groups. Jellyfish, even they are also living in groups, in colonies. They are called as colonies. So, and another one, sea anemone, if you can see. So these are all come under the group Coelenterata. Okay, now coming to next one, Platyhelminthes. So under this group, flatworms come under Platyhelminthes. Flatworms. So where are these flatworms present, children? Where are these flatworms present? They are usually parasites. They are parasites. They enter into our body also, and they cause stomach pain. Usually when you eat the food from outside, we get infected, and these flatworms, they enter into our body. So they have, usually if you see the body of these flatworms, they have flat body, which is bilaterally symmetrical. Both right and left half of the body is similar. They have similar type of body, both right and left side of the body is similar. If you can see in this picture, they have 3 layers of cells that are called as triploblastic. They are triploblastic. They have they do not have true body cavity. They may be free living or parasitic. They live like parasites. They depend on others. They may be free living and some are parasitic. For example, planaria, liver fluke, and tapeworm. Okay, children.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you see the next group, nematoda, they have cylindrical body. Their body is bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. They do not have true body cavity. They have tissues, but no real organs. They do not have organs inside them. They have only the bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic body. That's it. They do not have any true body cavity. And even they do not have the real organs. They only have tissues. Their body is cylindrical. And usually they are parasitic. For example, roundworms. They are called as ascaris. Roundworms are ascaris. And pinworms. etc. Usually you see in small children they'll be getting itching in their anal area because they eat a lot of sweet, isn't it? So these worms, they usually be in the small children, and even in adults also they can be found. So now coming to Annelida. This is the fifth group of Animalia, kingdom Animalia. So the fifth group is the Annelida. In this group, their body is bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. They have true body cavity. Their body is segmented, divided into segments. If you can see, there are so many segments in their body. There is differentiation of organs also. They are found in water and on land. Example, earthworm, Nereis, leech, etc. So have you seen this earthworm, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And even the leech, where is this leech found?
Water, ma'am.
They are usually, they suck the blood, isn't it, of the cattle. They suck the blood of the cattle. When the cattle, they just go to drink the water in the ponds and lakes, they just suck their blood. They just hold their skin, and they just suck the blood. And if you have seen Nereis, this in the second picture, it will be found near the water. In your houses also, you can see it. Outside, when the water is there,